After getting out of the Navy, I came home and had to find a job. And because I could pitch a good softball, I was able to get a job with King and Meat Packers. Back then, I could throw a quick breaking curve. Getting it over the plate was sometimes a chore though. When I was about 30, I realized I should settle down somewhere and start a career. So I applied and got hired on to the Tampa Fire Department. That was in 1959. In my first week of being a fireman, I went by my mama's house to pick her up, to take her to the doctor. I found her unresponsive in a chair by the front door. I quickly phoned the emergency crew, remember this is before 911, and waited several minutes before accepting that she had died. It had been a heart attack. She had outlived my daddy by 14 years. I was grateful that I had talked to her the night before, and I'm so glad that I was able to spend the last years with my mama. My career with the fire department lasted 15 years. It was a very happy time, and I was promoted to captain after 10 years. In 1972, while we were fighting a fire at the Wallace Stovall building in downtown Tampa, I injured my back and had to have surgery. Even after the surgery, I was in severe pain, and the doctors told me that I wouldn't be able to fight fires anymore and would have to retire. My career was over, but I still had an 8-year-old son at home, and so I had to find something else to do for work. By chance, I ran into another former Tampa fireman, Ronnie Mason, who had just opened a sporting goods store, selling shirts, hats, and other equipment to area baseball leagues. I had some artistic skills, and so I was able to draw team logos, and he suggested that I print t-shirts for his sporting goods store. And so, Carlisle Silk Screening was born. I did have to make all the equipment and machinery and actually learn the craft, but eventually it turned out to be a prosperous full-time business. I did this until I was finally able to retire for good at the age of 62. I had more important work to do, now for free. After retiring from the fire department and t-shirt printing, Bobby and I started doing volunteer mission work with a group called Campers on Mission. We did construction and repair work on small churches that didn't have money to pay for the work. We used our motorhome and we traveled the U.S., even making 2 trips to Alaska. We paid for our own gas and didn't receive a salary, but it was the best job I ever had. I figured that I'd worked for money for 62 years and had decided to work the rest of my life for free. If I hadn't made enough to get by on by then, I didn't see how a little more would make a difference. Growing up without money made me a better person, a better husband, a better friend, and always ready to share what I have with someone else.